Right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Beyond the Purple Door with the Wellness Witch, Nicole Castillo. If you have not gone to our YouTube channel, go to Wake Up with Giants TV on YouTube and subscribe. You can also find us on Wake Up with Giants TV Facebook page. Go give us a follow there, and you can follow us on a Tribe of Giants. If you're not part of a Tribe of Giants, go over, invite yourself. We are looking for giants to support us with impacting 100 million lives. I wanted to also check in with everybody. If you guys were here last week, put in the comments how were your action steps from last week. Let us know. And I'm so excited today because we have Dr. Shyam here with us in studio. It is his birthday. Happy birthday, Shyam. I'm so lucky that he's spending today with us. So Shyam holds a Ph.D. in psychology and specializes in the fields of cognition and neuroscience. And he has published in peer-reviewed scientific journals and books. His research has focused on the effects of stress, diet, and metabolic dysfunction on brain behavior and psychological response. He has also presented at numerous national and international psychology and neuroscience conferences. Additionally, Dr. Shyam is a certified health coach, a certified life coach, and a certified personal trainer through NASM, the National Academy of Sports Medicine. He has worked with many clients by combining his expertise in neuroscience and psychology with nutrition and fitness training to facilitate total mind and body transformations. So if you guys have seen the pictures of Shyam's results, you will see that he has overcome his own struggles with being overweight, physically unhealthy, lacking confidence, and lacking faith through proper nutrition and clearing mental, emotional clutter. So he is on a mission to help others, especially dads, realize their own potential and to achieve their dream physical and mental state through simple, structured steps that do not require great sacrifice or deprivation. And that lights me up. I love that you don't have to sacrifice things to get what you want when you work with Shyam. He's got it all worked out. So I would love to hear what you're celebrating today, just kind of to kick us off.
Oh, well, firstly, thank you very much for having me on. I appreciate it. I feel very lucky to be celebrating my birthday with you and all of you. So I appreciate you and all of you, your audience. Well, I'm celebrating my birthday. So I'm 42 today. And, I feel great. It's like, there's like a 10-year challenge thing that goes on Instagram and Facebook and stuff. And I tried to scroll back 10 years to try and find a picture, and I couldn't find one, which was kind of eye-opening for me because I take pictures. And I feel great. Feel great today.
So in your state of being, so I just want to acknowledge.
I tell some of my clients.
Sorry, we have a little bit of a lag.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I didn't mean to interrupt you. You were talking about what it is that you tell your clients.
Oh, yeah. Yes. And, I share it with my clients and clients. One big eye opener for me that I realized that I did this for a really long time. And then one day I was like, man, I've done that for years. I used to get up in the morning and go to the bathroom and go to brush my teeth. And I would brush my teeth with my eyes closed. And I did that for years. I wouldn't look at myself while I brushed my teeth. because I couldn't look at myself in the mirror. And, so like the first day that I was able to brush my teeth looking at myself was like, it's like this simple thing, but it's just like this life-changing moment. Right. And so now, I tell my clients, like, look at yourself in the mirror and like love what you see. And I have other people share with me that they do the same thing. They brush your teeth with their eyes closed. So I'm like, okay, our goal this week is twice this week you're gonna brush your teeth with your eyes open in the morning. And it's like, that's what I mean by simple steps. That's like a small thing, but small things add up to big things. That's why my mom was one rep, one bite, one thought at a time. And if we continuously try to eat yesterday, then if you beat yesterday every day, pretty soon you've done something great.
Yeah, I love this. Usually when we have technical issues, it's because it's going to be a powerful episode. So I think that some people may not know, looking at your, some people may not know just looking at you, because you exude like this confidence, and like the way you talk about yourself now is so different. Like when I hear you talk about your way of being and not looking in the mirror before, like one of the favorite parts of my day is seeing your gym check-ins, not just because you have the best rap lyrics as your captions, but just because confidence that comes across in your pictures. You have the best rap lyrics. You're one of my
like my philosophy is like, if it is yeah, my gym check-ins, my philosophy is, if I'm annoying, you can feel free to not look. That's up to you. I'm, for me, and it's for other people to show that, trying to lead by example and be as consistent as I can. And
yeah.
I'm also not perfect, so I think that's
You're not. Wait, what? You're
close.
Oh my gosh.
Close.
I think you're pretty close to perfect, yeah. So what inspired you? Like, if you look at your before pictures, like, what inspired you to get healthy and fit? What was it for you?
Like, so I have a really extensive science background, as you outlined. And what's interesting, I studied nutrition for a long time. My dissertation, my Ph.D. dissertation, was actually on function and how different macronutrients affect synaptic activity, cognition, long-term cognitive aging. And I published on that. I actually published a chapter in a biology book in, like, before I started so I've known a lot about nutrition. And so I've always been really interested in it from a neurological standpoint. But then I was unhealthy myself physically. So then, like, I really got into it, started studying it scientifically. Like, what are the peripheral effects? What I mean periphery is anything outside the central nervous system. So the rest of your body, right? So your brain sends signals to the periphery, to all your nerves and your organs and your muscles and all that kind of stuff. So I'm studying that peripherally and then practicing it on myself. And then, the second thing is, so that's more like a scientific answer. What really prompted me was, so I was going through really, really bad divorce, and I was, a lot of stuff happened, and I was in a really down place. I was really down and not feeling good about myself, certainly practicing not very healthy, engaging in not very short. And, I looked at in the mirror myself one day and be like, man, you got two choices. You can go down, you can go down, and you can go crawl into a bar and never come out, or you can go this way and just try and get better. And so that's everything. And I started to notice that it was working, that I was starting to get changes. And it was not just physical. I started noticing that I was in a better mood. I was able to focus more. I was more positive. I could tangibly notice my mental toughness getting better as a result of my physical toughness. And that was really like, wow, this is like really changing me. And when I started noticing changes in myself, and I'm like, man, I could help other people. I think I can help other people. And that's why I started down this journey. And my focus are dads specifically, because when I was going through all this stuff, it's like, for me, and not everyone's like this, but for me, preferred to talk to a guy if it was me, just because, like, again, I'm not generalizing, but but some guys, they prefer to talk to other guys because we can like relate to each other on a different level.
Mm-hmm.
And use language that maybe you wouldn't use if you were talking to a woman, perhaps. Again, not everybody, but so I decided to go down this journey and really combine my neuroscience expertise with all this knowledge I had gained on the physical fitness side and nutrition side.
Yeah, I love that too, because how you connect your science background. Like, I know the difference between me and my husband. He's very like mathematical. And so when you I'm like, Shyam breaks it down mathematically into like this formula of how to create like the state of being physically that you're wanting to create. And so for me, coming from a space of not thinking that way with my brain, it doesn't work mathematically, and it might, but I'm not aware of it. So it just brings like a different genre of people, like a different group of people that look at this and get excited. I put on here the banner.
I mean, I have coached. Yeah.
Sorry, the lag.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was saying, like, so I have coached women and coached them successfully. It's just that I think, like, always in my heart, since I started this, I wanted to really focus on dads, and especially dads that are like, really bogged down, that feel stuck, that feel like had all the same feelings I did. No matter what I do, it's not going to be enough. Or, everyone else can do it, but I can't do it. That's not for me. It's for everybody else. And it's like, I'm living, breathing proof that that's not true. It's just not true. I used to think that for a long time. And the other thing I was going to say is I think I'm going to say this in the most humble way that I can. One of my strengths is that I'm a professor. And so I'm used to explaining things to an audience that are very complex material in a way that people can understand it. And I think that that really helps me relate to my clients also. It's like, hey, here's the science. Like, this is what you're going to do, that kind of thing. And then tie those two things together.
Yeah, I love it. Well, and I love the aspect of the dads, because I know that you are an incredible dad to your gorgeous baby. She made you the funniest birthday card I've ever seen in my life. And are you wearing the bracelet that she made you?
Oh, it's not a bracelet. It's a gym tracker.
Really?
So she told me it's a gym tracker, and so all the little things on there, when you press the button, like one of them's a step counter, the other one's like a calorie counter. And she's like, hey, if you want to do this and you hold this down and then you make this, and you just say beep, and then that means it works.
That is awesome. So she's a little inventor. She got the smarts that her dad gave her smarts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she is so funny. But just watching you with your daughter, and how it is for her experiencing a father who is able to look in the mirror and brush his teeth and is healthy and can take her to go do all the fun stuff that you guys do, and working out in her room. You guys created a gym in your room, right?
Yeah, she made me a gym for Christmas.
So the habits that she's watching her dad with these habits, and then she's emulating them. And so I think that is a really good motivation for people to get healthy and fit. It's not necessarily just for us, but what's opened up for you since you have embraced this health and wellness journey in your relationships?
Oh, I just think, the first thing is patience. I'm a much more patient person. That's one of the things that I coach the most is patience and anger. And a lot of dads experience that because they're under a lot of pressure from work, and they got a coworker that's pissing them off, and then they bring it home. And it's,
Yeah.
I'm not saying in a violent way, but it's like an impatient way. And
Yeah.
so I set with my clients, we set patience goals every week, anger goals. With a couple of my clients, we call them freak out goals. How many times are you going to freak out this week? Let's set a number, and you're going to try and beat it. Right? So it's not just reps. It's not just how many push-ups you're going to do. It's like, how many freakouts you're going to have? How many times are you going to, I do this too. How many times are you going to go give your spouse a random hug, even though she didn't ask for it? We're going to set a goal because your goal was to be more open and more loving. And so let's set something tangible and let's count it. Right. And I think that's really important, is like setting something that's tangible. Because a lot of people, not everyone's like this, but I tend to, I'm very data driven. So like I need to meet a number. So if you give me a number, I'm going to try and hit it. And so it makes it more real. It makes it tangible.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that it's not just about the reps in the gym. So it's not just about the weights on the barbells going up. It's about your life. It's not just getting in the gym and doing the work. It's every aspect. It sounds like that you focus on not just the dad bod, you focus on the dad.
It's
His
about,
way of being.
it's about it's about what are you going to do for yourself this week?
I love that.
My kid's not sleeping. Okay, well, let's figure out a plan. Now, I had a dad who, his kid couldn't sleep in his own room, was waking up all night. So, we came up with a plan to get a pillowcase made with him and his mom on it, and put it on his pillow in his room, and the kid starts sleeping. So it's like, that stuff is, to me, is more important than did you hit your max rep on shoulder press? Well, that's important too.
Yeah, I love that. I know we have a little bit of a lag. So with your client,
the other thing that
sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, so another thing that dads especially come to me with is, listen, dude, I don't got time to go to the gym. I don't have time to spend hours in the gym. I don't want to spend money on a gym membership that I'm never going to go to. And my answer is, you don't have to. You don't need to step a foot outside your door. We're going to come up with a plan with your work schedule and with the resources you got. We're going to get you where you want to go, and you don't have to step a foot outside your door. And it's like, well, I only have 10 minutes. Okay, well, then we're going to make that the best 10 minutes that we can every day.
Yeah, I can relate to that. There was times as a single mom working during the day and working at night, like working a lot and putting the kids to bed and taking 10 minutes to do whatever it is that I was focusing on that day, arm day or whatever. So you don't have to go to the gym in order to get your fitness in. And that was my question, is the clients that you work with, is it all gym rats that you work with, or?
Not at all. No, it's actually the opposite. I haven't, I would say 90% of my clients do not go to the gym. It's all at home. I would say 90%. And so it's like, it's body weight stuff. It's okay. What do you have at home? You have a coffee table? That's a piece of equipment. Right? You got a kitchen chair? That's a piece of equipment. You got a couple of water jugs? Those are pieces of equipment. Can you walk? Can you pace in your living? That's a piece of equipment.
Yeah, I think with the pandemic, people really got creative. I think it was Chris Helmsworth. He was doing routines with like laundry detergent, like 2 things of laundry detergent, just really getting creative. People who are motivated and driven to, and I know that that's his job, that's what he does for work, but people who are really motivated and committed they get creative. Just like you see that in prisons when they take away when you take away like the weights that the prisoners can use, and then they find ways around it because that's how motivated they are to stay physically fit. Because that's
Well, I just read Hugh's comment. I don't know how lagged you are, but I just got it. And that's what Hugh Jacobson said there is really important. That's a very important comment, because here's what we're out to do. And I tell this to clients all the time. It's not true of everybody, but at our age, I never thought I'd be saying that, but at our age, I'm not out to go I'm not out to go pick up chicks on spring break. Like, I'm over that. That's not our thing. I want to be able to play with my kid and not be totally gassed playing soccer with my kid in the backyard. I want to be able to pick her up and throw her. Like, that's what's important. So that's what the meaning of functional fitness is. That's why we're trying to get in shape, so that we can lives and be healthy for the people around us. Right. So I'm not, I can, like one of my, when my daughter was first born and when she was like 2, I with her because I knew I would have a hard time getting up. And that really bothered me. So like when I was able to sit down on the ground and just jump up and like run after her, right then I'm like, that's why I'm doing this. It's not to take my shirt off at the beach for this.
Yeah, but if you needed to, you can take her to the beach and you can take her to the beach and you can have your shirt off and you can be the confident dad that's just focusing on your daughter instead of being self-conscious about yourself. Does that make sense? Because I know it shows up differently for my kids when I can go to the beach and be in my bikini and thinking about focusing on them and not worried about other people and what they're thinking or what they're saying or me feeling uncomfortable in my body. So I love that you can do both, right?
Sure. That's a great point. And you're supporting my point. Is that I'll be with you. When I started on this, one of my first like impetus for starting this was to prove people wrong. I'm going to prove to you that I can do this. And after a little bit, I'm like, I don't have to prove shit to anyone. I'm doing this for me. Like I don't have to do it for anybody. I'm doing it for myself. And that's what you just said, which is great.
Yeah. And this is one of those things that when I work with clients and they're afraid to go to the gym, and I'm like, the people at the gym are so busy looking at themselves in the mirror, they're not going to be looking at you. Like they're not worried about you. And to prove the point, we were on the treadmill and I literally fell and nobody even looked up. And she was like, oh my gosh, you're not lying to me. And I was like, no, I'm not. Like they're so busy focused on themselves. They don't see us. Like you can do whatever. We could do cartwheels. No one's going to notice. But when you're in that space of like worrying about what other people think, it takes away from you doing the shit that you are meant to do, right? cartwheels.
Right. Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So one thing I do when I write workouts for people, I will write like I'll assess like what they want to do. So if they want to go to the gym, then I'll write a workout for them to go to the gym. If they want to do if they're like, okay, I can be at home Monday, Wednesday, but then I'm going to go to the gym Tuesday, Thursday, well, then I'll write a combo workout. Here's your at home, here's your at gym. And for some people, I'll write all at home workouts, and here are your gym alternatives if you have time to go to the gym. So you work with what people got. And, you know, like Nicholas was saying earlier, you work with what you got and you focus on don't focus on what you can't do. What can you do? That's what you focus on. What is it that I can do? Like, don't be obsessed with what I cannot do. You know, it's like I say that to people when you go out to eat. When you go to a restaurant, all right, well, what can I do right now? Do they have water in this place? Probably. Do they have a side of vegetables? Probably. Do I have control over exactly how it's cooked? No. But what is it that you can do? Right? Like freeze people's minds a little bit. It's like, all right, I'm just on what I can do right now, not what I can't do.
Yeah, as a vegetarian, I am used to that. I'm used to going in and looking at a menu and saying, oh my gosh, what can I eat? Like, what can I create? I don't look at it and think people are like, well, what can you eat? If we go there, they're not going to have anything for you. And I'm like, they will definitely have something for me. I focus on what I can eat, and then I get super excited about it when I see they have a vegetarian option. I'm like, oh, I love this place. Or if you ask them places, well, change it up for me. But I don't go in there thinking like, oh, I can't ever go out to eat because they don't have vegetarian options. Like, hell no, I'm going to the steakhouse. I might just have the potatoes, but I'm going to the steakhouse.
Do you ever eat Indian food?
Yeah, a lot. It's one of our favorites. That's what got us through COVID was Indian food.
Oh.
It's one of my favorites ever. I love Greek food. It's my favorite. I love Greek food, but also Indian food. So delicious, flavorful. And yeah.
Yeah.
So I love this.
Yeah, one of the issues with the Indian food is like, if it's, what's that?
Tell me about Indian food. I want to know. I need to know.
Oh, I was just saying, the thing about Indian food is, it's like when people are vegetarian, first thing is like, you should eat Indian food. Because like a lot of it is vegetarian, if it's South Indian anyway. But the issue is they put a lot of oil in this stuff, and it doesn't taste as good if it's not oily. So that's like the one thing to watch. But other than that, like if you're vegetarian, Indian's a good way to go.
India food or Indian food? So I think he's asking if you're talking about like Native American or from India. I'm talking about the India food.
Yeah, for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites. So what I was going to ask you is, what is your favorite form of movement? Is it the gym? Did you like the gym always, or what's your favorite thing to do to stay active?
Oh yeah, I'm a gym person. Like I'll go in the gym for me, and it doesn't have to be for everybody. The gym for me is like my therapy, the place where I meditate. I'll sit there. So if you notice, okay, so if you notice on my Facebook, I walk up to the gym with a song playing.
I noticed that.
And then I post my check-in. And then it'll be like 45 minutes later that I actually start working out, because I'll just sit there and like I'll think about my schedule, think about some time, and then I'll actually like go work out. So yeah, I'm a gym person. So I do enjoy lifting. That's my thing. So I work and I coach progressive overload. is the best method to build muscle, burn fat. So that's kind of what I utilize as my workout procedure and a lot of what I coach. But it depends on the person. Depends, like
Yeah.
some people have injuries, so I coach through injuries. I coach through, different things.
I do the progressive overload as well. I love it, and I see really good results with it when I push myself. Yeah. What mindset do you think that weightlifting? What mindset do you think weightlifting and the gym is for you? If that question makes sense? Like if you had to define the mindset, like what is it when you're in the gym that you're building? I know some people with running, it's like I'm free. So with running, I'm free. That's the mindset that I'm focused on. What is it, do you think, with the gym for you?
Well, I think lifting, and this is where you see very intimate mind-body connection. It's strengthening mind-body connection, and that translates to the rest of your life outside of the gym. I think focusing on doing one time, feeling your emotions in a positive way. Like, I'm going to walk in there and all these emotions on this guy right here, this dumbbell right here, I'm going to take it out on you instead of on something else. I think it's a great vehicle for channeling emotion.
Yeah, I feel the same thing. I also feel like it helps me to know that I can do hard things. Like I can lift heavy things in my life, not just in the gym. But I love the mind-body connection and the intimacy of it. It's just a barbell. So me and the weights.
I love that.
And it's, for me too, it's my sanctuary. It's like my safe space. And so I don't know, maybe that's why your stuff connected with me so much, is because I can see it's the same thing for you. And I'm like, oh, he gets me, like that intimate body mind connection with yourself.
Yeah, we've been I feel like we've been kindred spirits since day one.
I agree, which is when I was creating this show, you were one of the first people I had in mind. I actually had you down as like a co-host. I was like, this would be so fun to do with Shyam because you know the science part of it so much better than I do, And so it was like, I sent this to Nick and Ryan and I was like, wouldn't Shyam just be amazing? But I also think that the Dad Bod Brain Coaching podcast sounds like an amazing podcast that would impact a lot of lives.
That would be a dream. That would be a dream to reach a level. So I hope to learn from all of you. Yeah, I hope to learn from all of you on how to go about doing that.
Yeah. So so you said that you coach people with around their injuries, right? So is that also with their nutrition, or is that like just with their movements, with what they're doing? Like if somebody's watching this thinking that they can't do whatever because of injuries, what would you tell them?
Well, again, it's okay because I went through this. I hurt my shoulder like a year ago, and I couldn't move my left arm. So it's like, here's where you learn a lesson, okay? It doesn't have to be all or nothing. There's a principle in psychology called the sunk cost, also in economics, where if I can't do everything, I'm going to do nothing. And that's not true. It's not logical. It's not appropriate. Just because you can't do everything, it doesn't mean you do nothing. Can you do your legs work? Your leg or your arm? Well, I hurt my arm. Okay, well, your legs work, right? So let's focus more on lower body. Maybe this is a blessing. This is a sign that you're supposed to work more on lower body now until you heal body, and then we'll get back to it. Maybe we work isolaterally. We'll work one side of your body. It's that much. It's just to keep the energy going out, right? It boils down to basic thermodynamics. It's energy in versus energy out, right? How much energy you taking in, how much energy, and in what way is that energy flowing? Literal thermodynamic energy. We can talk about spiritual energy too, but I'm talking about like literal thermodynamic energy.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that for me, I will realize that I've got trapped emotions, especially this part of my body. My left side was what was impacted the most by my neurological Lyme disease. And so I will realize, like, oh, this isn't just a physical pain, it's emotional pain that I'm holding on to that needs to be released. So I love that you said that you can look at it from different angles. It's not just your body, but also your emotions. You've mentioned mind body connection a couple times with emotions and how they play into that. I really love that. So it looks like Lori has a question about her husband.
Yeah, it's a good question. So it's a good question. I would have to talk to him, but yeah, certainly. Like if he can barely walk, like can he bend his legs? Like can he bend at the knee? Like there's stuff you can do where. So I have a client I'm thinking that was in the same boat. And again, it's going to depend person to person, like how much mobility you got. But so I'm thinking of a client that got ankle weights, like light ankle weights. Sit on the edge of his couch and do leg extensions. And just do like 3 drop sets, right? And then certainly you can sit and do some upper body. So here's the other thing. It's like, this, Nicole. You can spot train to a certain extent, but it boils down to nutrition. So like I'll have people be like, what can I do to get my stomach down? Should I just do a bunch of sit-ups? I'm like, no. First thing you're gonna have to dial in. We'll figure out your nutrition, and then you're gonna do legs because that's a large body area, and you're gonna burn a lot with legs. Same with like, I want to get my back toned. Okay, let's do lower body. And then you can spot train after that.
Yeah, and I would suggest, Lori, if your husband's open to it, reaching out to Shyam. He's got his contact information down here, so that he can support with knowing, like assessing. It's hard to assess from this space, but with assessing with what's going on. But Shyam, you are exactly right. So when I was training for my bikini competition, my coach did not give me any ab workouts at all. It was my nutrition. So he's like, I'm like, there's no abs, there's no core. And he's like,
Yeah.
Your nutrition is where we're going to build those abs. And so that's why with injuries, my suggestion is usually to people to focus on nutrition first, because once we can get you feeling better, and I usually have clients lose like 35 pounds from nutrition, and then we get into exercise and movement. Depending on where the person's at, but sometimes movement for me doesn't come in with my clients until later. So I love that you said that with focusing on what you can control. You can control your nutrition if your body is needing to heal, right? Yeah, Nick was saying nutrition.
Lori, I believe we're friends on Facebook. So, yeah. Sorry, Lori, I was saying we're friends on Facebook. Feel free to just message me so I can get like more detail, because I don't want him to get hurt. So if he really can't bend his knee, then we'll have to talk more, because I don't want him to get hurt to get hurt more. Plus, that's amazing, man. 12% is a lot. That's a lot of body fat. Well,
this is so exciting. Well, Lori, I'm confident that Shyam has the tools to support your husband with this, if that's something he's open to. And that's why we have all the contact information here. So if you guys have questions for Shyam, you can email him or go follow him on Instagram. I suggest following him on Instagram because I love his check-ins, and it makes me inspired to get into the gym. But he also has a Facebook group
Yeah,
if you're
or
hesitant to join.
yeah, the Facebook group would be great. Facebook group would be really good. I'm trying to grow like that community of dads. Find me on Facebook and you can message me too. I was going to say something. I forgot. I forgot. Oh, yeah. So Nicholas made a comment about gaining it all back with nutrition. So that's okay, because so my mindset shift and something that I coach is like, you're not stuck, like you're not behind, you haven't dug yourself a hole, like all those terms don't exist. I'm going to use these calories, right? I'm going to use them. So like one thing that I've learned, the only way to gain muscle is to eat. That's the only way. You could be in the gym all day and all night. If you don't eat, you're not going to build muscle. But so as you eat, you're going to gain muscle, but naturally you're also going to gain fat. You're going to gain some. That's why, it depends on what the some people do what are called bulk. You're going to cut, burn the fat off, and preserve all the muscle. Yeah, Melissa, I'm not a hormone expert, but the one hormone that I'm very familiar with is cortisol, since I've studied stress quite a bit. And certainly the PA axis, which is the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, if that's hyperactive, you're going to see hyperactive cortisol, which is a stress sympathetic nervous system hormone, and that can lead to fat storage. Right, as animals, if we're stressed, in some cases, it's gonna lead to fat accumulation.
Yeah, and I know that you focus a lot on stress. I wanted to kind of ask, like, nutrition wise, what you do for yourself with nutrition, but then also if you can talk about the impact of stress and what you recommend to your clients or what they have come up with to support them with dealing with stress.
Sure. So my own nutrition. So I personally follow a macronutrient diet. So I'll have a number. So I have a fat, a protein, and a carbohydrate number that I try and hit every day. Now that's good. That entails tracking your food, measuring and weighing all your food, and that's time consuming until you get used to it. So I would say 90% of my clients, I don't coach that way because they're just too busy, and that's okay. So I focus with my clients, I focus more on having appropriate portions. You eyeball your portions and you eat the proper amount of portions for each meal. And then, the stress thing. So one thing is, and this is really useful for especially dads, is I'm like, all right, you're going to find your fortress of solitude, like Superman. What's your fortress of solitude? For one guy, it's the sauna in his basement. The other guy, it's his bathroom. The other guy, it's his car. What's your fortress of solitude? You're going to go into your fortress of solitude and you are going to review your day or that moment and take stock of how you feel. What are you feeling right now? I feel stressed. I feel angry. I feel excited. I feel nervous. And then you identify why you feel that way. So a lot of men, we don't take stock of our emotions. A lot, again, I'm not generalizing, but a lot of guys, we don't take stock. We just feel, just let it come out. It's not controlled and it's not accounted for. So you account for how you feel. And then I take people through an exercise where they prioritize their emotions. And then we come up with action steps on how to deal with them. like actual take tangible, emotions are really complex because as humans, we can feel multiple things simultaneously. It's possible to feel happy and angry in time, right? It's possible to feel sad and excited for the same thing. Good for your
Yeah.
husband, Lori, on quitting smoking. That's great first step.
One thing at a time, small steps, one thing at a time. So smoking, we got that handled. Now it's on to the next thing.
Yep.
Yeah. So it looks like we've got some questions here. Okay. It looks like Melissa tending to eat carbs and sugar rather than protein and veggies under stress. Are there tools when you feel that you're getting into a stress state, Shyam, that you would like to share that may benefit our viewers?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so first of all, like what I coach is blood sugar imbalance. Your blood sugar is likely to get stressed. The best way that your body is going to try and restore what's called homeostasis is to eat quote unquote junk food, is to eat salt and sugar to restore homeostatic level. So the first thing is I get people to have a sustained and consistent blood sugar level. And I take people through an exercise where I can at least get some measurement of that. I don't take people's blood, but there's a method in which I can do that, where you can manipulate nutrients throughout the day to figure out what their blood sugar balance is. So if your blood sugar is balanced throughout the day, A, you're less likely to become stressed. And then B, if you hit it's, again, if you take stock of why you feel that way and you prioritize it, and in your head, you take one step towards an action to dealing with it, right? So if you read the stress and coping literature, there's two types of ways. There's a guy named Chris. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say a name, but
no, you can. It's just if it's a personal story.
He's published a lot.
You can totally say his name.
Oh,
it's just with personal stories when people come on and say stuff about.
Yeah. Oh, I got you. Okay, I got you. Yeah, there's a guy. If you read stress and coping research, there's a guy named Lazarus, and so he talks about two different types of coping with stress. There's problem focused and emotion focused coping. So problem focused coping is you identify the source of your stressor and you take an action step to try and deal with it. Emotion focused coping is like running, is like fight or flight. You run or fight. And what you find is that people that transition to becoming more problem focused copers, they feel like they have more control over the stressor and they feel less stressed, right? So one thing that I coach is having people generate, at least try and generate, more of a sense of control over the stressor. So you prioritize it into, is this something reasonable that I should be stressed about, or is it unreasonable? From the standpoint of who do you want to be? What are your goals? Is this tangibly going to interfere with who I want to be? If so, then let's come up with a step to try and deal with it. If not, then maybe that's not a priority right now, right? So for example, I went to the grocery store and the checkout lady gave me a mean look and it stressed me out and it made me feel bad. Okay. So first of all, did she really? Or did you just think she did? And if she did, does that have a long-term consequence on who you want to be as a person? If not, then maybe we can put that on the back burner. Let's deal with something that's more important. That's more of a source of your problem. right? So you like transition into prioritizing and becoming a problem-focused coper.
I love that so much, with being able to really prioritize what's important when it comes to the stresses in our life, and that you provided some resources. I may grab some of the books that you've been recommending to throw down so that people can get the literature. Definitely emotional over here.
Sure.
I can relate to that, Melissa. And that's why I like to have people like Shyam in my circle, because when I get that way, it's really nice to have a problem focused.
Well, listen, here's the other thing. It's okay to be emotional. That's okay too. We're human. It's okay to express your emotions. So one thing I also coach is don't feel bad for feeling bad. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to feel good. Don't feel bad feeling good either. There's some people that feel bad for feeling bad. That's not right either. So it's okay. So like, don't get into this. You feel bad for feeling bad, and then you feel bad for feeling bad for feeling bad. Then you feel guilty for feeling bad for feeling bad for feeling bad. And then you get into this like vicious cycle. It's okay to feel bad. You just think about why you feel bad. And then you prioritize it that way and try and deal with it. You try. Or you take a step. But let's come up with a step.
I love that. Yeah, and we're getting to the end of our show. So part of my show is that we take on action steps for the week to check in, so that when people are watching my show, they're actually able to work like a coaching program. So if we were to sit down today with our viewers and come up with action steps, before we let Shyam go, and I just want to acknowledge you and recognize you for being here with me on your birthday to celebrate with us. So grateful for you here. And let's maybe set up some action steps that that our viewers can take on for this next week. And it can be anything for any,
okay,
like you guys can create your own action steps in the comments, but I'm going to give you the 3 that Shyam's going to recommend as the doctor.
Okay. So now, I mean, these aren't super doctor like profound or anything, but so number 1, let's focus on our water this week. So you're going to take your body weight in pounds and divide that by, and you're going to try and drink that many ounces of water average every week. Okay, try and average it out. Get a water bottle that has the ounces written on it and make it your best friend and carry it around with you in your car, in your office, wherever. Okay, so we're going to hit our water this week. There you go. We're going to hit, mine's over there. We're going to hit our water this week. You're going to sit down you're going to find your fortress of solitude. What is that place? Okay, if it's in your car, in your driveway, then that's what it is. Okay, you're going to find your fortress of solitude. And number 3, you are going to breathe when you eat. You're going to remember that you're a human and you're not an animal in the jungle that just killed a prey. You're going to eat like a person. You're going to, every 2 or 3 bites, you're going to breathe while you eat.
I love this. So you guys are able to take your action steps. You can share them in the comments after our show. I'm going to go over to a Tribe of Giants. We will post about it. Shyam, tell me a little bit about Dad Bod Coaching, what it is that or Dad Bod Brain Coaching. Tell me what it is that you're creating for yourself with the community and how people can get in contact
Sure.
with you.
So the membership has just started. It's brand new, and I'm excited about it. It's called Dad Bod Brain. Find it at dadbodbraincoaching.com. And I have really exciting programs for people. You're going to get access to a library of resources. There's nutrition stuff, brain stuff. You get workflows, me coaching you through both mind, body, and somewhat spiritual exercises. You're going to get access to me. You're going to get private access to an empowerment coach. You're going to get access to a group community of people, including group challenges. And you're going to get on-demand coaching with me. And there's just a lot of really good stuff. So it's a membership-based site where you're going to sign up for a membership. You get these resources, and then access to me and an empowerment coach. And it's going to be a thing that will produce mind and body transformation. And that's what I'm about, is progress. I can't hear you.
It's because I'm just letting you go. I haven't interrupted. What's coming out is just beautiful. I'm really inspired by your vision and what it is that you're creating for yourself and all of the dads that are going to be impacted, all of the children that are going to be impacted, and all of the wives like me, all of the women that are going to be impacted.
You can also just you can. Sure. You can also, your audience can also just find me on Facebook and message me if you want. Just look me up.
Yeah. So is it dadbodbraincoaching.com?
That's my website. And then if you want, you can just look me up on Facebook and DM me if you want.
So there is the website, dadbodbraincoaching.com. And I love that it's your birthday, but you're giving us a gift with announcing your membership and what's all encased in that. Those are powerful resources that you've created to impact the health and wellness of the planet, which is what this podcast is about. It's about changing the health and wellness of the globe. So I appreciate what it is that you do and who you are. And so you guys,
thank you for letting me share my birthday.
Yeah, I was listening to 50 Cent in the gym before this. Go shorty, it's your birthday. We're gonna party like it's your birthday. Like I was in the gym just thinking of Shyam and his birthday and like getting ready for this. I'm so excited. This has been on my vision board, having this show with you in it and being a part of it. So thank you so much for making that wish of mine. And yeah, is there anything else?
Thank you so much.
Before we hop off?
No, just watch my Facebook story. That's going to be my song today.
Oh, Alex. Yeah. Shyam's my people. He listens to all the good stuff. I can quote Ice Cube and Snoop Dogg, and he knows what I'm talking about. Yep. That's Nicole. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to my show. Come on over to A Tribe of Giants. Dr. Sam is in A Tribe of Giants. So we're going to be watching. If you guys need support, go share your celebrations, go share your action steps. If you need accountability and support, Shyam and I are in A Tribe of Giants to support you with that. I hope that's okay, Shyam, that I threw you in there.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, the tools, support, accountability that you need to live your happiest, healthiest life is beyond the purple door. Will you open it? Thanks for being here, you guys. Love you.
Thank you.